Trav, when's the wedding?
Shut the
Travis's personality, he always cares about his teammates, always wants to win.
You have to work every single day. You have to come to work and get yourself better and be a part of a team.
Before Taylor Swift turned his name into a global headline, before the jersey sales skyrocketed and the stadium cameras hunted for his every move, Travis Kelce lived a life most fans never saw. Behind the swagger, behind the confidence, behind the viral sound bites, there existed a man quietly carrying the weight of expectations heavier than any Super Bowl trophy. Kansas City loved him, but that love came with pressure. Pressure to win, pressure to lead, pressure to never show weakness. And in those early years, the silence after the games was louder than any crowd. Travis's journey wasn't built on glamour. It was built on the lonely nights in empty apartments, on ice baths that stung as much as failure, on doubts he never dared to say out loud. This documentary begins where the highlight reels never go, inside the unseen, emotional world of a man America would soon obsess over. Before Taylor came into the picture, this was Travis Kelce's real Kansas City life.
And you really don't do this kind of stuff, but you would do a backflip for the Kelce's, baby.
Before we move on, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss any of our upcoming documentaries. Long before the Chiefs' kingdom claimed him, Travis Kelce was just a kid trying to find his place in the Kelce household. Jason Kelce, older, disciplined, and laser-focused, often stood as the gold standard. Coaches trusted Jason. Teachers praised Jason. Meanwhile, Travis became the talented one who needs to get serious. And those words followed him into every locker room, classroom, and practice field. Growing up in Cleveland Heights, he constantly felt half a step behind, half a step misunderstood. People saw his humor as carelessness, his energy as immaturity, and his mistakes as proof that he'd never reach Jason's level. But deep inside, Travis wanted greatness just as badly, maybe even more. His childhood wasn't defined by lack of talent. It was defined by the fear of never being enough. That insecurity would shape him for years, fueling both his biggest victories and his darkest moments. Before Kansas City ever embraced him, Travis was fighting a silent battle against expectations he never asked for.
You guys have enjoyed some amazing success over the past 7 seasons.
College was supposed to be Travis Kelce's clean slate, a chance to step out of Jason's shadow and prove who he really was. But instead of clarity, he found chaos. Cincinnati brought freedom, and freedom brought temptation. Parties, distractions, late nights, and reckless decisions started stacking up until they finally cost him everything. His suspension from the team wasn't just a punishment, it was humiliation. Overnight, Travis went from rising athlete to cautionary tale. Coaches questioned him. Family worried about him. Sports commentators wrote him off as another wasted talent. It was the lowest point of his young life. But what hurt the most wasn't losing football. It was feeling like he had disappointed everyone who ever believed in him. Yet in that darkness, a spark remained. Jason refused to give up on him, pushing him, guiding him, reminding him that he wasn't finished. Cincinnati became the crucible that reshaped Travis Kelce, proving that sometimes a career doesn't start with success. It starts with survival.
You know what? Believe it or not, I took gymnastics class.
What? I knew it!
When the 2013 NFL Draft finally arrived, Travis Kelce wasn't celebrating. He was praying. His past mistakes echoed louder than his potential. Analysts labeled him high risk. Teams questioned his maturity. Every pick that passed felt like another judgment, another reminder of everything he'd done wrong. When the Kansas City Chiefs finally called his name, Travis felt relief crash over him, but it came with a terrifying responsibility. This wasn't just another chance. This was his last chance. He wasn't walking into a rebuilding franchise. He was walking into a city desperate for a new era, a coach who believed in redemption, and a fan base that demanded greatness. And behind the confident grin he flashed for cameras, Travis hid a painful truth. He was terrified of failing again. Terrified of proving his doubters right. Terrified that Kansas City had taken a gamble on a man who might never outrun his past. But that fear would soon become his motivation.
If you have good players, good coaches, good things happen.
Yeah.
When Travis Kelce first arrived in Kansas City, he walked into a world far different from the roaring stadiums fans imagined. His early days were quiet, uncertain, and brutally humbling. He wasn't a star. He wasn't a leader. He wasn't even guaranteed a long-term spot. He was just another young player trying to earn trust in a locker room full of veterans who had seen countless rookies come and go. Practices were intense. Expectations were sky high. And Kansas City wasn't just another NFL city. It was a football-obsessed community hungry for hope. Travis felt the weight instantly. Every dropped pass echoed in his head. Every misstep felt like a countdown to failure. He stayed late after practice, studying film until his eyes blurred, terrified of being another name fans forgot. Nights were spent alone, replaying mistakes and promising himself he would never take this opportunity for granted. This was the version of Travis nobody sees, the one building a foundation silently, painfully, and relentlessly.
It was good. We did the trampoline and the backflips and then did it into the pit.
Just when Travis felt he was finally finding rhythm, reality struck with brutal force. A knee injury, a microfracture surgery, shattered his rookie season before it even began. For many NFL players, that type of injury is career-ending. For Travis, it felt like karma catching up. As he watched from the sidelines, helpless and aching, doubt consumed him. Analysts labeled him a busted pick. Fans barely remembered his name. And Travis's worst fear resurfaced, that he had already failed. Rehab became his new battlefield. The pain was sharp, constant, and emotionally draining. Teammates moved forward. Games continued without him. Kansas City celebrated victories that he wasn't part of, and it stung deeper than any physical wound. Alone in his apartment, he questioned whether football was slipping through his fingers for good. But in those months of isolation, something hardened inside him. He decided he wouldn't be remembered as a draft mistake. If the NFL wanted to push him out, he would fight his way back in.
Our ownership in terms of the Chiefs to how coach runs this thing and the league.
When Travis finally returned to the field, the expectations were low, but his determination had never been higher. Every drill became personal. Every rep felt like redemption. He trained with a ferocity that surprised even veteran teammates. Travis wasn't simply trying to prove he belonged. He was trying to prove he could become something Kansas City had never seen before. Slowly, the Chiefs organization noticed. His footwork sharpened. His confidence returned. His energy electrified practices. Fans began paying attention to the tall, emotional tight end who moved like a wide receiver. But what they didn't see were the private breakdowns, the moments of doubt he hid behind jokes and swagger. He feared every bad play would send him backwards. Still, he kept pushing, kept evolving, kept fighting. This comeback wasn't luck. It was grit crafted in silence. Travis Kelce wasn't just returning from injury. He was rewriting his identity, one practice at a time.
All the pretty girls were on the gymnastics team, and I had to do it right in front of them.
As Travis Kelce rose in the NFL, something strange happened. His star power grew, yet his happiness didn't. Reporters sought interviews. Fans wanted autographs. Cameras followed him in Kansas City. But when he returned home at night, he felt the same emptiness he'd felt during his suspension. Fame was loud, but his thoughts were louder. He had money, recognition, and a growing fan base, but he didn't have clarity. The persona everyone loved, the funny, flashy, charismatic tight end, was a mask built to hide insecurities he never resolved. Travis wanted to feel grounded, but life moved too fast. He feared making mistakes, feared disappointing Kansas City, feared becoming the man people once doubted. Even success carried weight. And as the cheers grew louder, his internal struggles grew sharper. Because sometimes the hardest place to be lonely is at the center of attention.
Leadership, he sets the tone he sets each and every single day, every single year.
Kansas City adopted Travis Kelce like family. But with that came pressure no one prepared him for. Chiefs Kingdom doesn't just cheer, it expects. Every Sunday, every route, every catch carried emotional responsibility. Travis wasn't just playing football, he was carrying history. Before Patrick Mahomes, before the dynasty years, Kansas City had endured decades of heartbreak. And now, Travis was expected to help change that narrative. Every drop pass felt like failure. Every mistake felt catastrophic. The fans loved him deeply, but their love demanded perfection. Travis internalized everything. He blamed himself for losses more than fans ever knew. He replayed errors at night until he couldn't sleep. He held himself to impossible standards because he feared letting down the city that finally believed in him. And while the world saw swagger and confidence, behind the scenes was a man terrified of not being enough for a community that gave him everything.
If you were in the league, I still would have called you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have called you. Somewhere I would have called you.
When Patrick Mahomes entered the Chiefs organization, something shifted in Travis Kelce's world. Mahomes wasn't just a quarterback. He was balance. Calm where Travis was emotional, steady where Travis was fiery. Their chemistry was immediate, almost eerie. Mahomes trusted Travis instantly, throwing to him in moments when the game hung in the balance. And that trust changed everything. For the first time in his NFL journey, Travis felt like he wasn't carrying the weight alone. Their bond extended beyond the field. It grew into a friendship built on respect, support, and genuine belief. Mahomes quieted Travis's self-doubt simply by showing up again and again with unwavering confidence. Together, they didn't just build an offense. They built a dynasty-level partnership. Before Taylor Swift ever entered the picture, Patrick Mahomes was the person who stabilized Travis's life, reminding him that he wasn't just talented, he was essential.
Man, he challenges us week in, week out, day in, day out on.
With Mahomes by his side, Travis Kelce started stacking achievements. Pro Bowls, playoff runs, record-breaking seasons. Kansas City celebrated him as a legend in the making. But success brought new pressure. Every major accomplishment seemed to raise the bar even higher. Analysts debated whether he was the greatest tight end ever. Comparisons flooded interviews. Fans expected perfection. And when Travis couldn't meet those unrealistic standards, he punished himself harder than anyone else ever could. Winning didn't quiet the voices in his head, it amplified them. The more he achieved, the more terrified he became of losing it. And the deeper he stepped into fame, the more disconnected he felt from the version of himself he used to know. Even after Super Bowl victories, Travis sometimes sat alone in his car after games, taking deep breaths, reminding himself that he deserved everything he'd earned. But inside, he wasn't always convinced.
Coaching philosophy is everybody gets to lead in their own way, and Trav does it his way, I do it mine.
Before Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce experienced relationships that shaped him in ways fans never saw. Some relationships were quiet, private, and hopeful. Others were complicated, messy, and emotionally draining. Travis wasn't the stereotype people assumed. He didn't want flings, drama, or attention. He wanted stability, real love, someone who understood the insane pressure of being in the NFL spotlight. But trust was hard. Travis didn't always know who liked him for the person he was and who liked him for the fame he carried. His long days, constant travel, and emotional exhaustion made relationships even more fragile. Arguments felt heavier. Misunderstandings lasted longer. Breakups hurt deeper. And every failed relationship left him more guarded, making him wonder if true connection was possible in a world where millions watched his every move. Though he joked publicly about dating struggles, the truth was painful. Travis Kelce was lonely long before the world shipped him with Taylor Swift.
It's been a blessing for me to be here with these guys, and we've won a lot of games. And
Kansas City celebrated Travis Kelce relentlessly, but the nights after the games told a different story. When the stadium emptied and the adrenaline faded, Travis felt the silence hit hardest. He often drove through quiet KC streets replaying plays, mistakes, and conversations nobody else remembered. Even on victorious nights, his mind picked apart every flaw. Success didn't silence self-criticism, it intensified it. And with every passing year, Travis became more aware of how heavy the role of being Kansas City's emotional centerpiece truly was. His body hurt. His mind raced. His heart carried pressure he rarely admitted. He had fame, love from fans, and a city that swore loyalty to him. But what he lacked was inner peace. These quiet, introspective nights became the secret chapters of Travis's life, the ones hidden behind touchdowns and celebrations. Chapters filled with worries, doubts, and questions he never dared ask out loud. Before Taylor, this was his emotional reality.
Just going back to like the fundamentals and the work that we put in. I mean, obviously,
Behind Travis Kelce's resilience was a lifeline the public rarely acknowledged: Jason Kelce. Their brotherhood wasn't just playful podcast moments or viral memes. It was built on hardship, support, and unconditional loyalty. When Travis fell in college, Jason fought for him. When Travis doubted his purpose, Jason reminded him of his strength. When critics attacked, Jason defended him fiercely. And when Travis felt buried under pressure in Kansas City, Jason was the voice that pulled him back up. Their bond meant everything because it came from vulnerability, not fame. Jason understood the emotional weight of football, the sacrifices, the failures, the expectations. He guided Travis not as a legend, but as a brother who knew every scar. Long before Taylor ever stepped into Travis's life, it was Jason who held him together during his darkest moments, reminding him that no matter how heavy the world became, he'd never carry it alone.
for us, it's like, don't make it bigger than what it is. Know how important it is. And
Travis Kelce's rise to NFL royalty wasn't glamorous, it was grueling. Every accolade he earned came with sacrifice. Every touchdown required pushing through physical pain fans never saw. Every celebrated moment carried emotional weight that never left. As his reputation grew, so did the expectations. Kansas City didn't just see him as a star. They saw him as a cornerstone of hope. And that burden required relentless discipline. Travis spent countless hours in film rooms, weight rooms, rehab centers, and quiet hotel rooms preparing for the next battle. Success wasn't a gift, it was war. And war left scars, both visible and invisible. But Travis pushed forward because every milestone reminded him of the boy he once was, the one fighting shadows, doubts, and insecurities. His legacy wasn't built on talent alone. It was built on resilience forged through humiliation, injury, pressure, and heartbreak. Before Taylor, his life was already cinematic, just not the kind of movie the world expected.
Man, I'll be fortunate to keep having fun with these guys year in, year out, man.
Yeah.
As the Chiefs continued winning, Travis Kelce felt something shift inside him. His body was sore in ways he hated admitting. His schedule was exhausting. His private life felt stagnant. Friends noticed he seemed quieter. Family felt he seemed distant. Even Mahomes sensed Travis was carrying too much. Fame, responsibility, leadership, everything piled up. Travis smiled through interviews, danced through victories, and battled through pain. But deep down, something felt incomplete. He had everything he once dreamed of, yet something important was missing. Something personal, something emotional. The weight of years in Kansas City, years of pressure, loss, victory, expectation began to show. Travis wasn't breaking, but he was wearing thin, and life, as it often does, was preparing him for a chapter he never saw coming. A chapter that would shift his world in the most unexpected way.
I take it day by day, year by year. I just love coming in to work with these guys right here.
Before it became a meme, before it became a cultural moment, before it sent social media into chaos, the gesture was simple. Travis Kelce making a friendship bracelet for Taylor Swift. It wasn't a publicity move. It wasn't a calculated step. It was a moment of vulnerability, a man stepping outside the comfort of fame, risking rejection for something real. Travis, who'd spent years guarding his heart behind humor and charisma, suddenly felt nervous, hopeful, and human. He didn't know if Taylor would ever see the bracelet. He didn't know if the gesture meant anything. But for the first time in a long time, he let himself feel possibility. A small act became a symbol of emotional courage, a sign that he wanted something beyond football, beyond pressure, beyond expectations. Kansas City had known Travis the athlete. America had known Travis the entertainer. But the bracelet revealed Travis the man, someone longing for connection after years of hiding his heart.
Expectations every single year, year in, year out, is Super Bowl or failure. And
As rumors swirled and headlines multiplied, Travis Kelce found himself torn in two directions. One part of him wanted to protect his private life fiercely. He had worked for years to keep the emotional side of his world shielded from judgment, scrutiny, and expectations. But another part, the part that knew loneliness all too well, wanted to explore this new connection. The attention terrified him. He worried fans would think he was distracted. He worried the media circus would poison something pure. And he feared the spotlight would pressure the relationship before it even began. But beneath those fears was quiet hope. Hope for companionship, understanding, and emotional balance he'd long been missing. Travis Kelce was facing a battle entirely different from football. The battle between staying hidden and stepping into something that might finally heal him. And for the first time in his Kansas City journey, he wasn't sure what the right play was.
Like, turnovers kind of just happen. They're forcing the turnovers. They're punching the ball out. They're tipping passes.
Before Taylor Swift stepped into the frame, Travis Kelce's life was already full, but not always in the ways fans imagined. Behind the touchdowns and celebrations existed a man constantly balancing joy and pressure, fame and fear, success and self-doubt. He played the role of entertainer, superstar, and emotional anchor for Kansas City, but rarely showed the cost of carrying so much. Travis's struggles weren't dramatic headlines. They were internal battles fought in silence. Nights spent overthinking, days spent hiding pain, years spent making sure the world never saw how vulnerable he really was. Through all the noise, he fought to remain grounded, loyal, and human. Before Taylor, he wasn't just a football icon. He was a man looking for meaning beyond the game, hoping for someone who could understand the chaos inside his carefully controlled world.
I want the guys to bring those out. If you got robots out there, you're never going to get the best out of them. You want
By the time Taylor Swift entered his orbit, Travis Kelce had already lived a lifetime of hardship, discipline, pressure, and emotional endurance. He had risen from suspension to superstardom, from injury to dominance, from insecurity to leadership. He had become the heartbeat of Kansas City, the foundation of a dynasty, and the face of modern football. Yet, deep inside, a part of him still felt unfinished, still searching for balance, still longing for emotional connection, still trying to understand where Travis the person fit within Travis the legend. When Taylor arrived, his story didn't begin, it shifted. Not because she saved him, but because she entered a world he had built through fire and resilience. Before Taylor, Travis's life was powerful, lonely, triumphant, and fragile all at once. And now, standing at the edge of a new chapter, everything was about to evolve. His Kansas City life wasn't ending. It was transforming into something bigger than even he imagined.
miss the tush push.
Do I miss the tush push? I miss the result of the tush push.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss any of our upcoming documentaries.